I'm in Grimsbury in Berkshire, in Hermitage, to the east of Chieveley. Yes, we're still doing Chieveley. This is number 6. And behind me you can see the ramparts, and I want you to remember these ramparts here because they are quite clearly not terraces. Right? So we know this is a defensive arrangement. There's no need to have a wall sticking up if you're just growing wheat on a hillside. So we can tell that this is a rampart and not a terrace. Now you might remember 2 videos ago I was talking about Oarborough, which is about 2 miles in that direction, which is not our next destination, there's a destination after. I talked about the earthworks in a ring around, I think it was 3 different tiers, and I couldn't see from the LiDAR whether or not they were ramparts or they were terraces for agriculture. Ramparts would have been military, the terraces would be agricultural. I'm ambivalent as to what it is. I'm just as keen to disprove my theory it's a watchtower, a watch hill, as I don't think you could disprove it, but I want to know how much of that hill, because you can have a watch station, 10 square feet, you just got to be on top of something. But anyway, so that's the question for today's video. The question, it may be stretched over 2 videos. That's the question for today's video. Are the earthworks on Oarborough Hill ramparts, or are they terraces for agriculture? But this is Grimsbury, and that's an interesting name. You should, all you budding YouTube antiquarians, know what Grim is. Grim is one of 2 things. It is probably the god Woden, but we can't prove it. Grimr was one of the names for Odin, and Odin or Othin is because Old Norse is the kissing cousin of English, and they shared the same culture. Look at Beowulf. That we could ascribe the stories of Odin to Woden, though there are caveats to it. There's bound to be, it could be the difference between, say, Anglican and Catholic, barely nothing at all, or it could be the difference between Jehovah's Witness and Anglican, which is quite a few differences, and that's the same religion. So we have records for those religions, but we have virtually nothing for the pagan English Anglo-Saxon religion, just a few things. There's the poem Deor, which talks about Wayland, a few things about Wayland. We have the Frank's casket that tells us that Wayland, so we have a few things about Wayland, that Wayland did make cups out of the skulls of 2 boys. We have there's some other interesting things on the Frank's casket, but we'll go into that another time. And we have a couple of burial items, buckles and helmets that probably show Woden shaking spears or doing a little dance. And that's about it. But it probably is Grim, the religious devil, and this is probably named after him. Bury obviously is borough, fortified settlement. Berg, which becomes our borough sort of 500 years later. So it's probably Woden's. Though I haven't seen anything from Old English to show how we got to Grimsbury. So in other videos I've done, I can show a 1,000-year-old document that says Grimes Berger or something like that. Anyway, yeah, so this is the Iron Age Hillfort. Now we're going to go walking down to Hermitage. I'm basically following the route of the old street, which I did on the last video, which is, as I said in the last video, I won't go into it again. Well, the Charter of Beedon says it's a strata, which means the Anglo-Saxons thought it was a Roman road. It means a well-built road of strata. It's borrowed from Latin. It goes in a fairly straight line. I'm going to be following part of it, and along that route, I'm veering off from it because I can't cross the motorway and stay on Old Street. I'm going to go to the side a little bit, but we're going to have a look at some other ditches in Hermitage, in Oare. Let's see what we can see in Oare, and then we're off to Oarborough Hill. This is the entrance, the main entrance, probably, of the castle and the Hillfort. And you can see there's a causeway was built, so it's flat here, and then it dips into the ditches both sides. So it would have been extra defences here. It would have been the most vulnerable part, as well as a ceremonial entrance, and as you can see, we've got Holloway here. So let's follow that Holloway as far as we can, and see whether or not we can add anything new to the discussion. And then it's down to Hermitage. Seems to turn. Yeah, it takes a right angle here. And then heads off. Yeah, so a very marked right angle.